Hey guys, I really like you guys know me. I like geeky stuff. I like comic books.
What?
Oh yeah, movies, pop culture stuff, video games.
Not
What?
you.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
Say it ain't so.
I know, but you know what the problem I have? I have a problem finding out how to get this stuff. Maybe like on a regular monthly basis, maybe?
If only there was some sort of
Like a service or
Like
something.
a monthly subscription box
Yeah.
that would fuel your geek needs.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's a good word to use.
I got $1 million idea, guys.
What's
I
that?
think so.
That's a monthly subscription box called Geek Fuel.
What? And where would you get that at?
geekfuel.com/all of my issues.
Yes.
All right, well, my mind is blown right now. So
I'll give you $3 off.
$3
Right now.
Whoa! You are blowing my mind right now.
Yeah. Keep it up.
I don't know what to say. My world is upside down.
You had me at $3 off
Yeah.
You had me at Geek Fuel.
at Geek Fuel. Monthly subscription box. Full of awesome.
Buy it now.
Hello to all my friends at all of my issues. It's me, Mario. Woohoo! Mamma mia! You guys, you number one. Woohoo! Are you number one? Ho ho! Wait to say it, bro. Here we go. Woohoo!
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another episode of All of My Issues. In this episode, episode 28, we talk about the best movie sequels. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. Hello, I'm Rick.
I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
And on today's episode, we are going to talk about the best movie sequels. So, that's basically the criteria for this episode. And I guess we'll go ahead.
Kind of in honor of John Wick 2 and Lego Batman.
There you go,
coming
there you
out.
go. Bunch of sequels coming out. That sounds good. Nice segue there, Chris.
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, yeah.
Darker shades
Darker
or something.
shades,
Isn't it
yeah.
some kind of,
Yeah.
Isn't it eventually just going to go black?
That's right.
Yeah.
Always been on black.
There you go.
Oh, man.
All right. So I guess we'll get started.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna go with number 5. When we were doing this list, we were basically looking at the best sequels that basically were better than their than the original as far as like gross wise. Because as you know, if you've been listening to the show, I love Grown Ups too. But when I was and it's not on this list because when I looked at it. Surprisingly, Grown Ups grossed more than Grown Ups 2. So it was like, I liked it better than Grown Ups, but it didn't make my list. So, starting at number 5 on the top 5 sequels is Mad Max 2 Road Warrior. Came out in 1982. The original was Mad Max that came out in 1979. Now, Mad Max, as you know, if you don't know, stars Mel Gibson as the lead character of Mad Max. This was before Tom Hardy became Mad Max on the Glory Road. Is that
Fury Road.
Yeah,
Fury Road.
Fury
Fury
Road.
Road.
Fury Road.
So, Mad Max, the original, the budget was $200,000. It grossed $8.7 million. in the United States.
Not a bad return on investment.
Not bad.
Exactly.
So when Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior came out, budget was a little bigger budget, $2 million, and it grossed $9 million in the United States. So, a little quick synopsis. Mad Max, he's done being a cop in a post-apocalyptic world, so he's just driving around, and he runs into a group of people who are trying to salvage gasoline. They're being attacked by a malicious biker gang. Those of you who remember the movie, you probably remember the part where a little boy who had like a claw glove, animal glove, and had this like boomerang, this blade boomerang, and when he threw it, it cut through anything and everything. And so
it's like a feral child.
Yeah, it's like a feral child.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the little boy from the Thornbirds, if you remember that Nickelodeon cartoon.
I don't know if I remember
The
that
Wild Thornbergs.
Thornberries.
Thornberries.
The Thornberries is like
Thornberries.
this old made-for-TV movies that where I forget who it was, played a priest who was romantically involved with someone, and it was
Wow.
I'm going deep cuts here.
Wow. So there you go.
I think both of those I've never seen. I don't know.
So my number 5 is Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior.
All right.
Okay.
That's a good number 1 or number 5.
That's
Number
number
five.
5.
Number
Sorry.
five. Yeah,
we're going
whoa.
the other way.
We go the other way.
That's whoa.
That's fine.
Oh,
Whatever
There we
floats your
go.
boat.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Number
We don't
5.
judge.
My number 5. This might be the only time I've actually bring budget into it, just because I found this interesting. My number 5 is a sequel, in a way, to a 1986 movie called Manhunter. And my sequel is Silence of the Lambs. It's loosely a sequel. It has some of the same characters.
Yeah.
It's from 1991. It had a $19 million budget and grossed $272 million worldwide. Managed to get Oscars in all top 5 categories. Kind of ran the board there for Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster, Jonathan Demme, etc., etc. And I think most people have probably seen this, but for those who haven't, it's Jodie Foster is basically an FBI cadet on the search for a serial killer who's kidnapping girls, and mysteriously, they don't know why exactly, but is taking parts of their skin.
Yeah.
And it
Buffalo
Bill.
Bill. I knew it was Buffalo.
Because he skins his humps.
That's
Is
yeah.
the bad joke the FBI people make there. So it's if you've seen Manhunter, which features Gil Grissom himself from CSI in search for a different serial killer, but he also seeks out Hannibal Lecter for advice on that. Hannibal Lecter played by Brian Cox in the original, and then played by Anthony Hopkins differently in the. It's a really good movie, and I like it. Kind of gave birth. Well, it didn't give birth to, but it kind of made serial killer stuff popular in the '90s, and it was everywhere. And
Yeah.
so I enjoyed it a lot. Ted Levine as Buffalo Bill.
Yes.
Just wonderful in that
Put the
role.
lotion in the basket.
Back my dog.
Yep.
Yeah, just a great performance.
And the tuck scene.
The tuck scene changed the way that not that you hear it much in references other than that, but that song by Q Lazarus, Goodbye Horses,
Yeah.
you can't hear it without
And then
wanting
Jay
to dance in front of the mirror.
Jay and Silent Bob,
Well, yeah.
they redid that scene. Was it in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back? Is that what
It was in Clerks 2.
Clerks 2? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember them redoing that. I was like, oh man. So as soon as you heard the music, you knew what was happening. Yeah.
So, I would say, in my opinion, it's in all ways superior to the original.
Yeah, I would agree. And in fact, when I first saw Silence of the Lambs, I didn't even realize that there was like loosely a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Yeah, because I watched Manhunter years later.
It's very weird. It's very
80s. Yes, yeah. The synth music. It's like, because I think it's even, what is it, Michael Mann?
Yep.
That does, does the soundtrack. That's the best part too.
Yeah, and then they remade Manhunter as Red Dragon.
That's right, they did with
Ed Norton in the role.
That's right. And then who's the character? Is it Ralph Fiennes that
Yeah,
plays?
Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
I
like that.
It was good. They were both good movies on their own. But they don't hold a candle to Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
And then Hannibal, the movie.
Do we speak of that?
Yeah.
Maybe when we get to the worst sequels.
Yeah. So we'll revisit that one.
Ray Liotta. That's all we gotta say.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Anything else to? All right. I guess we'll go on to my number 5. My number 5 is also a sequel because that's what we're doing. Mine is a sequel to Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
Dawn of the Dead. Originally, I'm talking about the 1979 version. Mm-hmm. When it was originally made, the estimated budget was $650,000. So, yeah, 1979 filmmaking was a little bit different, apparently. Yeah. But the basic premise of that, it's kind of a commentary on consumerism done by George Romero, where pretty much the entire movie takes place inside of a mall. And the zombies inside of the mall kind of almost behave like
they're going through the motions.
Exactly. They're just going through the motions. They're still riding the escalators. They're still just kind of walking through the mall. As if nothing really has changed except they're undead. So, I really enjoyed this movie. And again, this was, so I guess this might be a twofer. So like this was a sequel that was kind of remade later on by somebody who may be somewhat familiar now once you mention their name, and that's James Gunn, famous for Guardians of the Galaxy and some other movies. He did that, and actually the film he did Slither. Slither was also very good, and also the film is actually directed by Zack Snyder, who's kind of known for doing 300, Watchmen. One of the Man of Steel, not so bad as far as takes of Superman go, but so he did that.
I liked the remake.
I liked it a lot too. In fact,
I will say I went and saw it in the theater, and I was very disturbed by the family in front of us.
Oh,
they were all the way down to about a 4-year-old.
Oh wow,
that would be kind of disturbing.
Yeah. Messed up.
Because I think the newer one, the 2004 one, is probably a little bit more disturbing, I think, than the original one. I don't know if, just because of a couple sequences. The one involving the baby.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like a little bit like, oh, they went there.
Yeah.
And
it's pretty nice now that that's the dad from
Modern Family.
Oh yeah. That is true.
Phil Duffy.
I like to rewatch it now and just picture that it's actually Phil Duffy in that role. That is a movie I would like to see.
That would be kind of
Modern Family in the zombie apocalypse. I would love that.
Inside of a mall. I do think, in a way, maybe the 2004 one, because George Romero still has a writing credit on that film as well. I think it might be a little bit more of an entertaining film, just because of, there's a little bit more that they can do with it. In fact, the budget was a lot more.
Yeah.
Here, the estimated budget was $26 million, as opposed to being thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's $26 million, and they made that money back and then some the opening weekend of the film. And there's an estimated gross of $58 million for that film.
Wow.
So they did pretty well with that.
Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah. I do find both films very entertaining, probably for different reasons. The 2004 one is, like we said, more of a fun movie, I think.
Yeah.
Less of a commentary on society as the original one. So I guess I like them for different reasons. But for this one, I'm going to go with the 1979 original.
I do think that I feel like the 1979 one a better
film.
zombie movie.
Yeah, it's a better zombie.
The newer one is maybe has a couple more scares and is I don't know, less. It's less commentary, but it's more tongue in cheek, I guess, and more. I don't know. They do weird things in it, and the zombies are quick.
Yeah, they are. They are quicker. Yes, that's.
And
for
so
sure.
it's a different style of
zombie. Yeah. I've never been a huge fan of the quick zombies.
I'm hit or miss on them. It just depends on what.
Yeah, I'm saying with Chris, I'm hit or miss. Like if they did it like, well, technically 28 days later isn't a zombie.
Yeah, that's not a straight up zombie.
Train to Busan or whatever that is I did watch.
Yeah.
Fast zombies.
Fast zombies?
Yeah. Okay. Crazy fast zombies.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
crazy movie.
See, I've always thought of it this way, like when they first become a zombie, okay, maybe I can see them being fast, but then as they start deteriorating, maybe slow down. I don't know.
It's kind of like The Walking Dead. I just didn't understand like World War Z, where they're like just climbing up and building like a wall to climb up.
I pretty much didn't understand World War Z at all because I mean it's definitely not like the books at all.
Oh, the book is so good.
It is, and it's,
I would love to see it, but you couldn't do a movie like that. You need you almost need a miniseries. I would love to see like an HBO show that did that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So internet, HBO, if you're listening.
World War
Make
Z.
that happen.
Only don't call it World War Z now because people will confuse it with your.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple books he has out though. He has World War Z, and then doesn't he have like
Is the Zombie Survival Guide?
That's it, the Zombie Survival Guide. Maybe they could call it that.
Yeah, maybe.
And do that type of
Mel
thing.
Brooks' son.
Exactly. Right. I mean, that's who would expect that from Mel Brooks's? From Mel Brooks. The guy who brought us Spaceballs.
He gave us History of the Zombie World, Part 1.
Yeah.
There you go. So. There you go. I like that. All right. Well, yeah, that's my number 5.
All right.
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Kind of a twofer.
Okay.
You got two sequels for the price of one.
That's right.
Sweet.
Yes.
All right. My number 4 is Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy came out in 2010. The original was Tron 1982. So yeah, that was a pretty long time for a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember watching Tron, growing up as a kid, and it was like, man, how come they never made a sequel to Tron?
I know.
So from 82 to 2000, so when Tron Legacy came out, it was like, oh, they finally made a sequel. Like Santa read my Christmas letter. So both Tron and Tron 2 starred Jeff Bridges and Bruce
Boxleitner.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bruce Boxleitner. Tron, as you know, Tron's about a hacker who gets sucked into a computer game program and must help basically the program take down was it an antivirus? I'm trying to remember. It was
it was a security system, I believe.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah. So then Tron Legacy is the son of Jeff Bridges' character trying to find his father, and he gets sucked into the Tron universe
all over again.
Yeah. So the budget for Tron was $17 million. It grossed in the United States $33 million. Tron Legacy, surprisingly, the budget was $170 million. It grossed in the United States $172 million.
Whoa, what?
It squeaked by there. Yeah. It squeaked by there.
I would still like to see them make a sequel, though.
Yeah, I would too. That's why it kind of is on my list, because I thought Tron Legacy was a really good movie. I personally liked it.
Yeah.
And
it was late. I fell asleep, so I've got nothing on this one.
I liked them. I know that both of them the original and the legacy, they're not like critically acclaimed, I guess, you know, like as far as movies go, but I, as a kid, just watching like the trailer for the first Tron movie, all I wanted to do was go see that movie because I was like, oh my god, it's all neon, it looks awesome.
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
light up things.
The light,
I want a bike like that.
Exactly. You see those types of things, and it's endlessly fascinating to me, I think. And then, you know, Tron Legacy just kind of built upon that with better special effects, and I think in that world it kind of makes sense. Computers are a little more sophisticated now, so the effects are going to look better.
And if I remember correctly, I think Tron, when Tron the movie came out, also the video game came out too.
Yes,
it was like the exact same time.
Yeah. Whereas the game was highly successful.
Yes,
and the movie not so much.
Not so much.
Because I watched that because I own like the DVD collector's edition of Tron, the first one, and in it they talk about, I believe, if I'm correct in this, I'm gonna say this though, either way. So if I'm not correct, it's gonna be an alternative fact.
All right, alternative fact. Yeah,
there we go. Boom, we're laying it down. The Tron movie, because there was a time frame there where Disney was making a lot of live action movies. Mm-hmm. Tron put an end to that because it did so poorly that they didn't make another live action movie for quite some time. In fact, I want to say they didn't make another successful live action movie until Pirates of the Caribbean. I think it was something crazy like that. I'm not exactly sure if that's 100% correct, but I'm going to go with it.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
So that means Condor Man was more successful than.
Yes, probably.
Oh, man.
Because I believe what most of the costs were with the original one is just the time that it took to render every scene. Because, you know, with the technology they had at that point, all of the graphics that were depicted on it were all mathematical equations. They didn't see them until it was actually put on like film.
Wow.
And they projected it. It was some crazy thing like that. And I was fascinated by that as well. Whereas now they don't have to do that. So.
Faster processors.
That's right. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm a nerd for that stuff, so yeah. Love those movies.
That's why it's on my list.
There you go.
So number 4 is Tron Legacy.
All right. Well, my number 4 is a 1986 movie, a sequel to, I believe, a 1979 movie. And that movie is Aliens.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it. I watched it again today. It holds up wonderfully, except for some of the computer technology you would think would be a little bit better, but in the future. But and you would think they would have digital cameras. Regardless. James Cameron directed this one as opposed to Ridley Scott, and really changed the format of the movie from the horror genre to more of an action adventure with elements of horror in it. And just by adding a bunch of aliens, you know, in the first one you only have one alien, picking people apart one at a time, and this one, it's overwhelming. Now, something I read about it before watching it, and having read it and watching it as an adult as opposed to a teenager, which is maybe the last time I watched it fully, I didn't realize how much he drew on Vietnam in writing this, where you have a completely people with technologically superior group of people going into an area where they're fighting what should be a simple enemy, and then just getting trounced. And apparently he wrote that movie with that in mind. So
I think I recall hearing that at one point too. Now that you bring it up, I completely forgot about that. But yeah, I think I remember that being an element to that.
So great cast. You've got obviously Sigourney Weaver, and Michael Biehn, Paul Reiser. So punchable in that movie.
The slimiest guy.
From the very time you see him, hear him talking for the first time.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh. It's one of my two dads. Why is
He's not supposed to be
he's not supposed to be this way? He's the understanding one.
That's right.
The one that's
The
not,
responsible
the
one.
responsible one.
Exactly, yeah.
He's not like that Greg Evigan character. See, how's that?
Yeah, that's
I pulled that one right there. Lance Henriksen, awesome as Bishop, the robot or the android you don't know if you're going to trust until the end. And then, of course, Bill Paxton.
Yes. Why don't you put her in charge?
Yeah. As the whiniest badass that has ever been committed to celluloid. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
He just annoyed the crap out of me, but in a wonderful way.
Yeah. Oh,
That's it, man.
That's it, man. We're
Game
done.
over.
Game over, man.
Did you know? I
man.
remember reading that he just made that line up.
Did he?
Yeah,
Did
that
he?
wasn't even in the
Man.
script. He was just like, game over, man. And
That's awesome, though.
The playing that James Cameron thing is he's one of the thugs in the original Terminator that he steals the outfits off of. when he needs clothes, give me our clothes, whatever. Yeah, maybe he had I think a mohawk in that one. Maybe I don't remember. He was one of the street
he
thugs.
did. I do remember that now. Yeah.
So I guess you don't. When you're Bill Paxton, you don't know. Are you ever gonna have a role better than Chet?
That's true. Yeah, at that point, So that came out. So it was Weird Science right before.
Would have had to have been, right?
Yeah, right before Aliens.
Had to have been.
It seems like it would be.
Yeah. So.
When you play a character that at one point turns into a pile of poo.
Yeah. 7 Oscar nominations for. I'm pulling out.
Really?
You're pulling out the budgets. I'm pulling out the Oscars.
Man.
Which sounds dirty.
Oh,
But
pulling out the Oscars.
yeah, I'm pulling out the gold statue.
we are in award season.
That's right.
So yeah, that's my number 4.
Yeah, I can't. I'm surprised it got that many Oscars.
A lot of it was visual, but some of it was for direction. I remember it being nominated. I remember watching the awards thing because I saw it before I saw it because I didn't see it till it came out to video.
I didn't either, but
because it was like 6th grade or whatever.
Yeah.
But the alien coming out of the water behind the girl was such an amazing image.
I do remember that being that's a pretty awesome image.
Yeah, 85. Weird Science came out in 85, so
the
year before.
Yeah, Bill Paxton didn't know. Well, there you go. All right, that brings us to my number 4. My number 4 is a sequel to a movie that was kind of like a remake of the first one. It was that.
What?
I know
what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking. See where I'm going here?
Yeah, I see.
The first movie I'm talking about is Evil Dead.
Okay.
And the second movie is Evil Dead 2, easily enough.
Clever name.
Clever name.
Indeed.
Indeed. But really, the two movies, the story is pretty similar. Not really too much different, except that the take is completely different. The take on the first one is more straight up kind of horror.
Yeah.
But Evil Dead 2 is slapstick horror. So it's more like a comedy. Mm-hmm. And as you know, this is where Bruce Campbell really went to town, I think, in this role. Without him, I can't imagine another person playing the role of Ash.
No.
Besides him. I mean, he's just amazing, and it makes the movie cutting off your own hand somehow vastly entertaining. Yeah. And then later on fighting your severed hand even funnier. Yeah. It's just amazing.
Elements of the Three Stooges in that. And it's just fantastic slapstick.
Yep.
Slapstick in a gory movie.
Yep. The gratuitous amounts of bodily fluids, because I can't just say blood, because I mean, the things are
like black ichor.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I got to say ichor in this podcast, so I'm really excited.
Yes. You can mark that off the checklist.
Yeah, marking that off the bucket list right there.
So, Sam Raimi, of course, writing and directing this film. It's an amazing movie. I love it, and it's probably one of the movies I could watch again and again. Mm-hmm. There's been musicals made from this movie. also brought us the Ash versus the Evil Dead TV series.
Yes, indeed.
There's,
comic books.
The list goes on. And then as far as budget goes, this movie, it had a budget of $3,600,000. So quite a bit more than the budget of my previous film, Dawn of the Dead. But it grossed $5,923,044.
Wow.
So it did pretty well. And one of the things that I remember about this movie, too, is I distinctly remember being at the mall and seeing the image of the poster of the skull with the eyes in it. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, what is that? Mm-hmm. And at the time when it came out...
Skulls, it's cool.
It's cool, exactly. And I was a little bit like... Because I was kind of young at the time when it came out, so I was probably like, I can't go see that movie. But little did I know, a few short years later, I watched it and was like, oh my god, I want to see this movie again. So, yeah.
So, the thing that sticks to me about this movie is that people in my high school, as they would see it, would quote it, like, all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the hallways. Some of them.
Yeah.
Just,
the cool ones.
Yeah. So you'd hear "Dead by Dawn" and
Yeah,
like
Dead
all
by,
this.
yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
So.
Yep. It's groovy. Sorry, I had to say it.
The scene where everything's coming alive and laughing.
Yes.
Oh, that's such a good scene.
Oh, it is. That is such a good scene.
He just starts laughing and does it.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, it's such a good movie.
And the wall starts bleeding and shoots out.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, man. Yeah. So Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2.
There you go.
All right. Number 3, El Trace.
Trace.
The Trace. We're going a little more recent. We're going to 2014. And it is Captain America Winter Soldier.
Oh, yes.
And the original was Captain America the First Avenger. That came out in 2011. The reason why I put Captain America Winter Soldier in as my number 3 is because I thought the story was much better and it moved along a lot better than Captain America the First Avenger. I mean, Captain America First Avenger, was good, but it was kind of slow if you were not a Captain America fan. Because you just were getting used to Iron Man, and both Iron Man moves were pretty fast. So you're like, oh, okay, so it's Captain America First Avenger should be kind of the same pace. But it took a little pace a little bit slower because, dealing with the World War II and everything. But Captain America Winter Soldier, the pace really picked up. And I just like the whole fact that all this time Hydra has been infiltrated, has been hiding in plain sight of S.H.I.E.L.D. and had become S.H.I.E.L.D. And Captain America and his band of heroes had to take it down.
Yeah.
That was a really good movie.
Yeah. It is, yeah. Even as like if you took it as just a straight up like spy film or something like that, take the Captain America character out. It's an amazing movie.
That's one of the things Marvel does so right is they take their characters and they put them into a genre pieces.
Exactly.
And that is a perfect, I guess you call it spy film. It reminds you of like a 60s intrigue film.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And the thing I that's really memorable to me about that movie too is just how it intertwined with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so well, because like that whole Hydra reveal that happens in the movie just carries right into the show, and it just like I never thought anything like that would happen between movie and TV.
Yeah,
and the fact that they did that, I wish they would do more of that because I don't think they've done that as effectively as that movie.
Yeah, they had little snippets of Thor.
Yeah,
but,
and the other ones, and stuff, and it just, not the same way where it just drastically changed everything about the show.
Yeah,
because,
Well, and it also will always hold a special place in my heart because someone who occasionally listens to this podcast, my friend David,
Oh,
Hey, David.
Hey.
was in the movie as a Hydra
snap.
agent whenever they were looking in the mall.
Oh,
For them in the mall, he was
really?
one of the guys. And if you look really closely, you can see that he's wearing a Punisher belt buckle,
Nice.
which they didn't realize while they were filming it first. So,
wow. You know what? We got something in common because I also have a friend who was a SHIELD agent in Captain America Winter
Get
Soldier.
out here.
Yeah, his name was Jason, and he was a SHIELD agent, and that's what he tells all the girls.
Was he Hydra too?
No,
Or
he was
actually
was he
straight
a
up
good
Shield?
one?
He was a good SHIELD agent.
man.
oh, mine was Hydra.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they would be fighting.
Yeah.
They'll be fighting. So yeah, so he tries to use that when he picks up girls. So he's like,
Does it work?
I think it does.
Because
Oh man.
man, if I wasn't married, I'd just say I was a SHIELD
You're
agent.
right.
Yeah.
I was a SHIELD agent in Captain America Winter Soldier.
So would you get a hotter chick if you said you were Hydra or if you were Shield?
You know what? It depends.
Probably if you said you were Captain America.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Good point. Good
Good
point.
point.
I mean, when they write a scene into a movie just so you can hold a helicopter back and show off your biceps, you know.
That is true. That is true.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a funny.
It's
funny
That is-
scene.
It's
Yeah.
the Chris's in Marvel movies. Chris Pratt, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
They love the Chris.
They do love the Chris.
And
We Chris.
Hey!
I am available for roles.
Yeah.
There you go.
Are you listening? Come on.
I would love to be MODOK.
Oh man. There's I've heard rumors about MODOK being in.
Dinklage.
Yes. Yeah. Which I think would be interesting.
I thought they were looking at him to be Pip from Puck. Why do I keep? Is it Puck?
It's
I thought
Puck.
Puck was
For Alpha Flight?
Alpha Flight. No,
Yep.
no. Pimp from
Oh, the troll guy
yeah,
with the
from
must-
with the
cigar.
cigar. Yeah,
mustache
he was
from Golden Lakes.
one of the holders of the gems of
He
the
was, yeah.
Oh man, I do not remember that character.
You remember that character? We'll have to look him up. real quick
Warlock.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah, he interesting. I had
I
not
thought-
heard that.
I was hearing that because
Oh,
they wanted to
I could
put
see
Warlock
that too.
in for this for the Infinity.
Yeah, because his name is actually Pip the Troll, right? I
Yep.
believe so. Yeah.
There he is. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Marvel.
Oh, I do not remember him. I've got him up, pulled up. Yep, nope, don't remember him. Was he in the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah.
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 He it was kind of a little bit more of a minor character in there, but
He ended up after the Infinity Gauntlet. He was in the Infinity Wars and also
I have
Him and
Gauntlet and the Wars.
And I
And
believe
I haven't read him in a long
yeah,
time.
I
though.
think he was in the standalone Warlock comic for
Yes.
a while too, as well.
because they each hold a
Yeah.
gem. Like Gamora held a gem. He held the
That's
gem.
right. Yeah.
And actually, Drax the Destroyer held the gem, and Moondragon held the gem, and then Adam Warlock held the gem because they were the guardians of the gems. So
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
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 So that's what I heard. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah,
he'll do
that's-
both.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Maybe.
He can do it all.
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
seriously.
I could see him. I want to see them do MODOK though, because I think MODOK.
I
would
just
be
want
a
to see
cool
MODOK.
character. Yeah. Exactly.
So
exactly.
will MODOK be more of an Avenger villain, or would it be a Captain America villain?
Well, what I was thinking, and I could be completely wrong about this, but like it seems like what the Russo brothers like to do is they like to throw in like a little segment at the beginning of the movie, just filled with action, just to kind of get the
Like
movie.
who is that? Murdoch the Leaper, or not Murdoch?
Batroc.
Badrock the Leaper.
Batroc the Leaper. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, like how they did it in there, and then I mean they kind of did the same thing with Crossbones in Civil War,
Yeah,
where they kind of did that in the beginning. I'm thinking MODOK in the beginning of Infinity War, just as like, maybe to kind of bring the Avengers together, maybe.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
go from there. I don't know. I'm complete speculation on my part. I've no insider knowledge whatsoever, but
But if you like our idea, Marvel, please let us know.
And write us a check.
Yeah.
Yes.
We like checks.
Yeah.
Or world premiere.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
We'll take whatever you give us.
I am available for the MODOK role. Just saying.
Again, Chris is available for...
If you need another Chris.
Yes. Add to the list.
You can always use another Sam.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Just real quick, the budget for Captain America: Winter Soldier, $170 million, gross $259 million. So, which destroyed Captain America: First Avenger, which grossed $176 million. So,
I did really like the original movie too.
I did too.
I liked all three of the movies. But the original felt like the old comics, and which it was an old timey thing. So
right,
for sure. It went really well. They did really good things.
Yeah. So that is my number 3.
I like it. I like it.
My number 3, also comic book related, a 2008 movie.
Ooh.
The Dark Knight.
Ooh.
I have absolutely no notes written down about this, but it's Christopher Nolan. Obviously, we've got Christian Bale reprising the role and the voice.
Terrible voice.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, it's Bruce Wayne. It's okay. It's just just the Batman. So.
Yeah.
And it's
only really it's okay, but in some points,
where's
Harvey Dent?
Yeah, you're like, what did he say?
Wait.
How hard is he bent?
Yeah, I don't know if that's an appropriate question to ask me.
Yeah.
Just it has a lot of great things going for it. Just the opening scene of the bank robbery, where the clowns one at a time are killing each other.
Yeah.
Until you reveal Heath Ledger, and it's one of the most iconic film portrayals of an iconic character.
Yeah.
Winning the Oscar posthumously for Heath Ledger. Just start to finish, it's a good movie. Even if it's just they do so much. The third one wasn't able to live up to the second one, in my opinion.
No.
And it would have been
set the bar really high.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And it was. I really enjoyed Batman Begins, but but The Dark Knight was just far superior.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I remember, because Batman Begins, I thought, oh, this is awesome. This is so good.
It's a Batman grounded in reality.
Yeah, and how him going through the training, and you're like, oh man, this is so good. Everything about it, And then The Dark Knight, I was like, this, I'm going to give it a chance. Then you hear Heath Ledger's cast as the Joker. Oh, wow, really? That guy?
No, I was good with it.
Yeah, I was totally good with it after I saw like some of the original, like when they revealed like what he was going to look like and everything. I was like, okay, I want to see where they go with this. Before that, I mean, it was hard to imagine what direction they were going in.
Right.
I guess, but then after seeing that, and then seeing some of the trailers as they got further along into shooting. And then actually sitting in the theater and watching him emerge from the screen as the Joker. Oh, just amazing. I mean,
the pistol trick did it for me.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
Oh man, yep.
There was so much good in that performance.
Yeah.
Something interesting, if you ever get a chance, look it up. There is I think a 1977 or 78 interview with Tom Waits, where he's on some talk show. I don't know, an Australian talk show or something. And if you listen to him talk in the mannerisms, it sounds almost exactly like Heath Ledger's performance.
Really, that's crazy.
It's crazy. Where he seems almost disinterested and talks. It's crazy. But yeah, but you don't just get him. You also get the origin story of Two-Face.
Yes. You do, yes. That is true.
It's easy to lose.
Yeah.
The Two-Face villain in the other one, but that hospital scene, both where he's talking to Harvey Dent and telling him about how when soldiers died 2,000 miles away or whatever. That's just business as usual, or I don't know how he words it, but everyone loses their mind if you blow up a busload of whatever. There's weird stuff going on in there, and it's a really unique social commentary coming from the villain. And it's just nice to see like an opposite character to Batman, the iconicness and and then how sad is it knowing he's dead at the end and when he says we're destined to do this forever, and you're like, oh, I want to see where you are and be able to do that, Heath Ledger.
Yeah. Because how awesome would that have been if he was brought back?
And I'm sure he was. I'm sure the plan was to bring him back. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, because it did bring back Scarecrow ever so briefly in the third one.
He showed up in the third one.
So, but yeah, that is, and the fact that Heath Ledger didn't even get to see how well his performance was accepted, and I mean universally accepted. I mean, that was the new Joker as far as everybody was concerned, and probably the most cosplayed version of the Joker ever.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, it's stands its own for sure.
Yeah.
All right, that's my tray.
All right, your tray. All right, my tray is Superman 2.
Ah.
Yes, Superman 2. This one has its own little bit of controversy to it as well.
I thought you were going to go Superman 3.
Well, everyone knows it's a vastly superior film. No. No, I won't say that. But what I will say is, this one has a little bit of controversy with it as well. Originally, Richard Donner was supposed to do the entire film. Was kind of pulled out towards the end. And in order for the new director, Richard Lester, to get credit for directing the film, he had to vastly reshoot many of the scenes. In fact, I think that the percentage had to be like 70% of the film had to be reshot or something like that in order for him to get that director credit. So you would automatically think that, okay, if there's that much reshooting of a film that was already done, wow, this movie's going to be a train wreck.
Possibly.
But, yeah. But I think it's superior to the original as far as how it came out, because
That's a bold statement.
It is a bold statement. I mean, as far as like as a kid, and I'm thinking of this from a kid's perspective when I watched it originally, because I love Superman 2 a lot more than Superman 1, just because you saw more superpowered individuals. You saw them fighting, so that's much, as a kid, that's super entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
If, as a grown-up, comparing the two films, I would say the first Christopher Reeve Superman is a better film.
Yeah. I think origin stories always have the advantage automatically, which is interesting because we've now, all three of us did for this pick have done a comic book movie.
Oh, that is true. That is true. That is interesting. But yeah, seeing General Zod and just
come some Jordan.
Exactly. Kneel before Zod. I mean, that is got to be like one of the most quoted, lines from any Superman movie right there. I mean, some of the weird things that they kind of do towards the end with some of his superpowers, like, Superman ripping an S off of his chest and throwing it at one of the...
Garbage.
Yeah.
That's garbage.
Yeah. He's never had that ability before.
Or since.
Or since.
Yeah, you would think he would use that again.
Yeah, and they do some weird,
seems like it
teleporting thing, too, inside there, and it's just... those things...
Strange pods... That take your powers away.
Yeah.
Or, with a flip of the switch, take everyone else's powers away.
Yeah.
Not logically speaking.
Yeah, no.
Why do you have that option?
And it just makes me wonder...
It just seems like someone's going to go try to make popcorn sometime and accidentally take your powers away.
Yeah, right? And be like, oh, that was a mistake. Yeah. And then Lois Lane kind of punches...
She kills
one of them and just...
It's fine.
If she happens to fall, she didn't kill her.
Well, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know.
If she happens to fall.
All right, let's go do some roofing, and I'm going to punch you on the edge of the roof. Yeah. And if you happen to fall,
and you have no superpowers.
Well, she slid. She didn't fall per se. She slid. She slid down.
Yeah.
So
we do know they don't come back.
They don't come back. Maybe there's like some place in the Phantom Zone that they get put back. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, as a kid, that's what I imagine that they went to the Phantom Zone.
But
I mean, we don't really know.
As a kid, it didn't even dawn on me the fact that they just murdered people.
Yeah,
End of the movie.
Yeah.
It didn't. I was just like, oh yeah,
Yeah, they won.
They won the day.
Yeah, by flipping the switch and switching their powers away and.
Like, where'd they go?
Yeah, I get it because the lights were on the outside of the weird capsule thingy.
I will say, even as a kid, though, I was always, Niagara Falls. There was always how is he going to keep his identity secret?
Yes, yes.
Oh, the kid in the falls or whatever, they still managed to. Then he bends over, a fire, and his glasses fall off. How is he not super fast enough to stop that the second they come 1 inch away?
That's true. That is very true. That is very true. One of the weird things, and I don't know if you guys have this visual in your head or not, of when Lois and Clark are in that hotel and they have those like heart-shaped things float. I don't know why that is such an image in my head because I'm like, that's like the coolest motel room. And I don't know why, but
I was just waiting to someday be an adult so I could I could afford the heart-shaped everything.
Exactly. If I could get rich like that and have that kind of room, but I've looked for that room. I can't find that room.
I know. I think they took away the room.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it'll probably show up in the next 50 Shades movie.
It might, yeah. Just a darker shade of red.
Yeah.
It's my blood.
But yeah, there was one other thing we were going to say. I think you were going to say something about the movie. Maybe,
well, to me, just like the fighting scene with the three villains, I think especially in the DC movies, I don't think it's ever been matched. Because
that's probably true.
It's well choreographed for its time. Because if you looked at Man of Steel, it was just like blurs of people flying around, and then the unspeakable B versus S. So
yeah, so much hate,
so much hate,
so much.
And
I mean, I agree because I think
so much anger.
For the time, I think that the effects of that movie were outstanding.
Right.
Because I remember watching the movie and not really.
Oh yeah.
Just like thinking, man, they're blowing over tanker trucks and it's just
and the bus and people are getting swirled around in the air.
And you still get Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor too.
Exactly, right. So you get all that, but even as a kid, him ripping the S off and throwing it. That just really bothered me. And I just, I
was like, what just happened there? Even the bad guy was like, what just happened here?
When did you get this power? I've never seen you have this power
You just throw an S to it. Can I just write an S on my chest?
If you're super, I guess you can do whatever you want. Make up
what is
powers
even the logic behind that, though?
So some special Kryptonian material that his S is made out of. This, I can't even.
This is a big distraction. I was like, you didn't even hold him.
I would have just been happier if.
What is that used for under a red sun? That's keeping leftovers warm or something.
It's like a sun visor.
It's Reynolds.
Yeah.
Need a blanket? Here's my S.
Yes. It's a multi-purpose S. If you have your S with you, it's like a towel in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Don't leave anywhere without your S.
Didn't they use it like in the when Superman and Lois finally got together? Wasn't they sleeping in that thing or something? Or no?
What?
In the S?
Sleeping in the S?
I don't think Lois ever took
the blanket
took it in the S.
I'm sorry.
I thought the blankets were like this, like the Superman colors. That's what I was like. Maybe that's what he used it for. Here you go, baby. You need a blanket. So,
I don't know.
Took it in the S.
Took it in the S. We went there.
That's awesome.
So yes,
right.
Superman 2.
Superman 2.
Richard Donner and Richard Lester.
All right. So. All right. Now we are at the Deuce.
The Deuce.
The mighty
You knew
Deuce.
It was coming.
You knew it was coming.
Dropping the Deuce.
It was peeking out.
It often happens after someone takes it in the S. We always just devolve right down into the poop humor.
Yep. The Deuce is never the same after that.
Same. My number 2 is going to 1982. It is Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan. Khan!
Yes.
Right, alrighty. Was the sequel to the original Star Trek: The Motion Picture, which came out in 1979.
And I did not like that movie when I was little.
It was long.
The first one? Yeah. It's so good, though. Like, if you see it now, I think the story of it is so
It's
good.
better. I'm sure it's better, but
Yeah. Like, just...
when you're first watching, it's not the Star Trek you expect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, the whole V'ger
Yeah.
reveal at the end, you're like, oh, man, that's so cool. You know, like, if you know,
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
1979.
Sorry. Yeah, if you haven't seen it by now, come on. It happens at the end of the Miracle of 34th Street. Yeah.
Dorothy wakes back up on the farm.
Exactly.
And all those characters are her uncles.
That's disturbing, too.
That is disturbing.
That's disturbing. But,
it is.
Star Trek, Wrath of Khan, starred, William Shatner, Nimoy, Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah, you can't leave him out.
The finest
Or
Corinthian
his-
leather.
Yes. And the finest fake abs I've ever seen.
They were just magnificent.
They were magnificent.
George Takei. Ooh, Christy Alley was in this movie, too.
Oh, I forgot about
She
that.
was a Vulcan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you know, Khan seeks revenge on Kirk for what he did in an episode of Star Trek on the television series, leaving him on a planet which that planet had been destroyed. So Khan and his people moved to another planet, but it was basically almost uninhabitable, and he blamed Kirk for it. And years and years later, Khan seeks his revenge. So, for me, this is the epitome of the Star Trek movies. This is number 1 in the Star Trek movies. And I know you Trekkies are wondering why isn't number 2 on my list. That will be revealed later instead of being number 1. But for me, Khan is one of my favorite villains of all time.
Oh, sure.
No, yeah.
And the interactions and the chess game between him and Kirk, in the battle.
In the chest.
In the battle of the chess,
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It freaked me out with the earworm thing. That's
I was gonna say that.
If somebody wasn't gonna bring that up,
Yeah, that was
gonna be.
that haunted me for a
I
long
was
time.
what is
Yep.
that?
As a kid, every time I went to bed, I had to check, look under the pillow. Is there any weird ear things? No, I would not lay down at the beach.
Look, yeah,
I mean,
because even when
whole generation of kids ruined.
exactly, even when you knew like spiders or whatever, the earworms still creep me out more than knowing
Yeah, the fake earworms creeped me out more than anything as a child. I mean, it was terrible.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Changed the way I watched Fantasy Island.
did we ever determine are those earworms still in Chekhov? Did they ever get out?
No,
of
they
it?
fell out.
They fell out. Oh yeah.
Because at one point, what do? They phase them or something. They do a stun them or something. So at one
something.
point, it
Yeah,
falls
they fell
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see it on the floor.
Also, that movie, by the way, is one of the saddest endings to a
Oh,
movie. If you don't know that Star Trek 3 is coming out
Yeah.
and called The Search for Spock,
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
That was.
live long and prosper and all
the
that stuff.
needs of the many outweigh the
Yes.
needs of the few,
Yes.
or the one.
Yes.
Okay, I just brought the party down. Sorry.
Oh man. Leonard Nimoy, Spock.
Such a
Amazing
good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a.
Just a quick thing. Budget for Wrath of Khan was $11.2 million. It grossed $78.9 million.
So it did pretty okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And the funny thing is the budget for Star Trek was more. For the original motion picture, the budget for Star Trek, the motion picture, was $35 million, and it grossed 82.3.
Wow, it did really well as well.
Yeah. So. So the number deuce is Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan.
It's a good deuce.
That is a good deuce.
That is a healthy deuce.
Yes, that's right.
Solid deuce.
Solid deuce.
Yes. All right. My deuce is going to be an abnormal deuce compared to the rest of the list.
But I'm sure equally as solid.
Oh, it's so solid. It's